What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. We got a short one here relating to Sadiq Khan, who has decided upon himself to tell Jeremy Corbyn that he needs to be braver and should tell Leave voters they are wrong about wanting to leave the EU, showing just how out of touch this London mayor actually is, not only with London itself, but with the rest of the country. So let's see what the Evening Standard had to say about it. The article headlines, Brexit latest news. Sadiq Khan tells Jeremy Corbyn, be braver and tell Leave voters they are wrong. Yeah, because that's always going to be a good idea. Sadiq Khan has told Jeremy Corbyn to be braver and start telling Leave voters they are wrong on Brexit. The London mayor voiced frustrations about Labour's ongoing efforts to appeal to both Remain and Leave voters. I'll tell you what, Sadiq Khan, why don't you spend your time sorting out the crime problem in London instead of involving yourself in Brexit? You know, spend some of that money that you got for your PR budget on actually fighting crime and doing your job. Europhile Mr. Khan, in an interview with an Italian newspaper, La Repubblica, said it was time for Mr. Corbyn, a known Eurosceptic during his long spell as an MP, to provide leadership on Brexit and stop trying to be all things to all people. No, that's not what he tries to do, let me tell you that. He said that having seen the terms of Boris Johnson's deal and analysis of a no-deal exit, all forms of Brexit are worse than remaining in the EU. He told the paper, I'd like the Labour Party to be braver and provide leadership on this issue. Sometimes saying to people who may want to leave the EU, listen, I respect you, but let me explain to you why I think you're wrong and why I think we should campaign to remain in the EU. Let me explain to you why the problems you're having with your school, your healthcare, with your children's education, with housing, is not because of the EU. Well, go on then, Sadiq Khan. Explain to me how none of those things are to do with the EU, because I could almost guarantee that they will all be to do with the EU. And once we leave, they can be sorted out properly. You know, freedom of movement is not really conducive to the citizens of a country having a good time with their social services and other services provided by the government when an influx of people comes and the services cannot handle demand. You got to remember, NHS, for instance, is free at the point of service. Once you increase the number of people requiring the service, it becomes unsustainable. People start to lose out, operations are missed, so on and so forth. The same occurs in education, housing, welfare, everything. At the end of the day, even the job market is affected by free movement. So that is something that the EU do that is counterproductive to each and every citizen of this country, including the ones who come over here looking to improve their lives. If it's more difficult for people to get over here, the ones that do get over here enjoy a better life overall because wages go up, there's less stress on the health system. I mean, I shouldn't really have to say this, it's kind of obvious, and Sadiq Khan is the mayor of London after all, but he's also an idiot. So, let's carry on. He went on, I think he should go a bit further and be unequivocally pro-Remain and explain to those who are Brexiteers why he disagrees with them and have the argument. He can't have the argument because technically he agrees and knows that the EU is a shit show. He's just having his strings pulled by the backbenchers and some frontbenchers who are actually running the Labour Party. He's just a passenger along for the ride. Mr Corbyn narrowly won a Brexit vote at the party conference last month, with members backing his policy of renegotiating a deal with the EU and putting it to a public vote should he be victorious at the next election. That's a pretty big should. Remainers in the party had warned Labour to ditch talk of supporting even a Labour negotiated Brexit deal and come out in favour of staying in the EU. In his interview, Mr Khan also referred to his ongoing feud with US President Donald Trump, with the mayor warning he has become a poster boy for the far right, which I'm sure is a surprise to absolutely no one. It's not the first time he said that, if I remember correctly. My concern about Donald Trump is that he is actually the poster boy for far-right nativist populist movements around the world as a fact. So that's a fact, is it, yeah? You know for a fact that that's what Donald Trump is. I'd watch what you were saying, Sadiq Khan. I'm pretty sure you can't run around screaming that as a fact. You look at people here in this country, like from Britain First or Tommy Robinson. Oh, Sadiq Khan and Tommy Robinson. It doesn't take very long, does it? Absolutely any time this clown's got to say something, he has to bring someone in as an attempted smear against someone or this person or that person. Tommy Robinson is a favourite of the London mayor and the media in general, though. All these people idolise and look up to Donald Trump. He's the poster boy. I mean, I can't say I've ever seen anywhere that Tommy Robinson promotes Donald Trump or idolises him in any way. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Perhaps Sadiq Khan is a secret fan of Tommy Robinson because he seems to know a lot about him. I don't know this. Maybe I should ask some of the people who follow Tommy Robinson in my Discord. We can find out. I know Tommy Robinson asked him for political asylum, but that's because he was going to go to prison, which he of course did. The reasons why we should be challenging Donald Trump is not because he's been rude to me or saying bad things about me, but because what he stands for are policies that are now mainstream. Well, he is the President of the United States. It's about as mainstream as it gets. And you're just a stone cold loser, remember, Sadiq Khan. The reason why you don't like Trump is because he shit on you on Twitter and made you look like an idiot in front of all your little Ramona friends. So at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's a pride thing. You got shit on by the God Emperor Trump and you do not like it at the end of the day. So everyone's a right-wing nationalist and that is how you argue. We all know this. You have no arguments. You don't even have the sense about you to do your job properly, mate. Let's be honest now. London has gone down the toilet since you have been mayor. I mean, it wasn't great beforehand, to be honest, but it's far worse now because of you. We got knife crime. We got countless other crimes. You're too busy worrying about public relations and stupid car-free days for absolutely no reason because you want to be the wokest mayor of London in recorded history. And you will succeed because you're an idiot and that's all you care about. You're also going to be remembered as one of the worst mayors in history. Definitely by me and everyone alive now. That is for sure. Well, I'm going to end the video there, guys. I've had enough talking about this shit weasel now, to be honest with you. I want to thank the channel's PayPal, Patreon and Subscribestar members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot. And I will see you all in the next one.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going and we are glad to be going. We're off.
This Parliament is a dead Parliament. It should no longer sit. It has no moral right to sit on these green benches. They don't like the truth. Twice they have been asked to let the electorate decide upon whether they should continue to sit in their seats, while they block 17.4 million people's votes. This Parliament is a disgrace. But they're too cowardly to give it a go. But the time is coming. The time is coming, Mr. Speaker, when even these turkeys won't be able to prevent Christmas.